Hello friends, welcome back to another studio vlog. If this is your first time here, my name's Heather. I'm the owner of Charming Chapters, which is a small bookish business located in North Dakota. And this week we are going to be wrapping up all of your pre-orders from the fall and Halloween collection. We are going to be packing our special edition Haunted Library boxes and officially getting all of those orders sent out to you guys. Today we are going to be working just sewing on book sleeves, trying to get as many done as we can. I don't think we're going to get them all finished up today, so we'll probably end up doing a little bit of sewing tomorrow and then packing all of those boxes once we have everything finalized and ready to go for those. Sorry for the weird lighting today. It is a rainy, gloomy day here in North Dakota, so it's gonna be a perfect day for sewing and listening to audiobooks. We are gonna be continuing listening to the Throne of Glass series, just in case this is your first time watching. So that's what we've been listening to the last couple weeks here, making our way through that again. I have listened to it before, but just kind of doing a refresher. One of my good friends has started reading the series, so I thought it would be fun to re-listen to it, and then that way we can talk about the series together, being it's her first time. So that's gonna be the plan for today, just listening to audiobooks and sewing the book sleeves. So let's get started. Alright, so we're able to get a good stack of sleeves done. So next we are going to pack orders, and then like I said earlier, I'm going to take those into town when I go Wednesday morning because I have an appointment. So let's get to packing those orders so that they're ready to go. friends, that's going to be it for today. We got as many orders packed as we're able to. Tomorrow we are going to finish sewing up the sleeves. I think there's about 10 left, and then we're going to pack what orders we can that are not the Haunted Library boxes. So that'll probably take up most of tomorrow. If we have time, we're going to start working on a few of the items that go in the Haunted Library boxes. We still need to cut the bookmarks, and then we need to put a few things together, but packaging wise, before we start assembling the boxes. So whatever we don't get done tomorrow, we're going to work on that on Wednesday, which works out great because I'm also going into town Thursday evening. We have to pick up some friends from the airport. So orders are going to be shipped Wednesday and Thursday, and then we should be caught up on all the orders for this week. So we'll catch you guys again tomorrow when we're back at it. Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday. A little bit tired this morning. I didn't sleep the greatest last night. You can always tell how tired I am if I put on mascara or not. That's about the only makeup I put on during the day, but I'm tired. I just skipped that because I don't have the energy to even put that on. Today we're just going to be finishing up those book sleeves that we started on yesterday. I think there are about 10 left. We do need to clip together a few book sleeves this morning. There are 5 left. I want to say 5. I'm looking at my stack over here. I think there's 5 left that we need to finish for the Haunted Library boxes, and then there are, looks like 5 for just regular orders that have come in, not for the fall and Halloween, just regular orders. So we're going to work on finishing all those up today, and then we're going to pack up all the orders that we can that are not the Haunted Library boxes. Those we're going to start on tomorrow. As I mentioned yesterday, we need to finish getting a few things ready for the boxes before we can pack those, but we're going to get everything done that we possibly can. And then I'm going to take whatever orders are ready to go into town with me tomorrow. I have a chiropractor appointment. I have one of those every 3 weeks. So you guys probably watching the studio vlogs, you're pretty familiar that I have those all the time. With sitting all the time sewing, it's really hard on my back. And anybody that, works a job similar where you're just sitting all the time, you probably notice that you might have some back troubles too. And I cannot recommend a chiropractor enough. They make a world of difference. And even with my allergies, he can adjust like my ears and stuff. I get fluid buildup in my ears from my allergies. Like there's just so many things that chiropractors can do that make a huge difference in your life. So I've got one of those appointments tomorrow. So it'll be a little bit later start tomorrow morning, but we're just gonna be working on packing the boxes tomorrow. We need to finish up the bookmarks like I mentioned. We need to put the stickers on cards and just kind of get everything together. Tomorrow I'll leave a little disclaimer when we start packing everything, just in case you ordered a box and you don't want to know what's in it. There won't be too many spoilers if you skip tomorrow. But like I said, I'll mention that tomorrow. That way, if you don't want to see what's in the box, you can just fast forward a little bit. But that's pretty much going to be tomorrow's project. Thursday, I'm not sure what we're going to do Thursday. I would like to decorate the office. I've been mentioning that for a couple weeks now. I'd really like to get our fall and Halloween decorations out. So we'll see. Maybe that'll be Thursday's project. We also need to start getting ready for our next collection. You guys have been asking for cat and dog products, so we are going to be expanding upon that for what we have in the shop already. So that's probably going to be mid to late October. I really haven't started on any designs, so that'll probably be what we'll be starting on here soon too. And then also paperwork. It's that time again. If you guys have watched the studio vlogs before, you know I am not a paperwork girl, and quarterly taxes are going to be due at the end of October. So I want to try and get a head start on those. Try and be a little bit more proactive this time because I definitely put off my paperwork. That is my least favorite thing about owning a small business. It's the paperwork. I'm not a numbers crunching girl, but it just comes with the territory when you own a business. So I don't know if we'll start on that this week too, but definitely projects for coming up in the next couple weeks here that we'll be working on. So yeah, we're gonna just work on the book sleeves this morning. Right now we're just gonna prep the few book sleeves that we need to get done, and then I'm probably not going to film the sewing part today just because it'll be just like what you watched from yesterday. But I'll definitely film the order packing because I know you guys love watching your orders being packaged up and seeing all the special things that go into that. So we're going to get started on prepping the fabric here, and we're just going to be listening to Queen of Shadows again. That's book 4 in the Throne of Glass series, in case you're not familiar with it. I started that a couple weeks ago. So it looks like we've got about 5.5 hours left. So I'll probably finish that up today and then start on the next book too. So if you guys have been reading the books, or if you guys have read the books before, let me know your thoughts without too many spoilers down below, just in case there are people that haven't read it that are watching the vlog. So, but if you have watched it before, let me know your thoughts. It was quite a few years ago that I read the series. Well, listened to it. I didn't physically read it. And there's a lot of things that I'm picking up this time around that I didn't before. I guess when I listened to this series previously, I hadn't read the Crescent City books, so it's kind of fun to pick up on the Easter eggs that are in the Throne of Glass books here. So I've been really enjoying that. So far, rereading book 3 is my favorite. We'll see how that continues. I just love all the characters that are introduced in book 3. My friend, she is almost done with book 1, and yesterday she asked me if Dorian or Kale was my favorite, and I said, for now, Dorian. Without giving too many spoilers away, I just told her Dorian's my favorite. As of now, my favorite characters come into play later in the series. So yeah, we're gonna get to sewing this morning, or we're gonna get to prepping the fabric this morning, and I get to sewing. Oh, speaking of sewing, I have to tell you guys the joke that my husband had this morning, or I guess a cheer as he called it. He said, do you want to hear my cheer for the day? And I just like roll my eyes because he has so many puns and like I never know what's coming. And he's like, so team sew. Like, okay. So that is the new cheer for Charming Chapters apparently. So team sew. So that's going to be today's project. We're going to be sewing all day long. So we better get started. All right, now that all of the sleeves are clipped together, I'm gonna get to sewing. So for you guys, it's gonna be the blink of an eye, you'll see me again. But for me, it's gonna be a few hours worth of sewing. So we'll see you in just a bit. Okay friends, we're officially caught up on sewing all book sleeves. So all orders are gonna be packed by the end of tomorrow. So now we're gonna finish packing up those orders that do not include the Haunted Library boxes. And then I'll get them off to the post office tomorrow. friends, that's going to be it for today. I'm off to make some supper and play with Luna. She has been a great helper all day. She's been laying at my feet while I've been sewing. So tomorrow's gonna be a little bit later start, but as soon as I get back home, we're gonna work on packing those haunted library boxes. Packing special boxes are one of my favorite things to do. I just love putting everything together. It's so much fun seeing everything come together. And I can't wait to share everything with you guys too. We're gonna do a reveal of everything that's in the box. Plus we're gonna finish some of the products that need to go in there. So we'll catch you guys again tomorrow when we're working on those. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. It is not quite noon right now. This morning I had a chiropractor appointment and then ran some errands this morning. On Friday, it is my husband and I's 10-year wedding anniversary. So we are gonna surprise him with some red roses when he comes home from lunch today. Should be any time now. The theme for our wedding was black and red, and we did red roses and lots of candles. So I just thought it would be really fun to surprise him. Luna's running around in the background here. She is full of energy. She napped all morning, so of course her battery is full now. But yes, we are gonna surprise him with some flowers when he comes home, just as a little thing he's not gonna expect because it's a couple days early, so it's just gonna be something fun. But today we are gonna work on packing the haunted library boxes. I am so excited. I absolutely love putting together boxes for you guys. The next one that we're gonna do is going to be our bookish advent calendar, and I'm gonna start planning that here shortly too. I'm gonna be putting on social media some questions, just asking what you guys are gonna want for the boxes. So that will be our next one. Pre-orders for those will probably go live probably end of October, just so I have lots of time to get everything put together and ready to ship in time for you guys for the holiday seasons. But yeah, today we're gonna put together the boxes. We need to finish the bookmarks. We need to cut those around the corners. We need to, what else do we need to do? Oh, the stickers, we're gonna put them in packaging too. We've got 2 stickers that go in the box. And just kind of put everything together. So that's gonna be the plan for today. If you don't want to see what's in the box, just skip ahead a little bit. That's gonna be pretty much what we work on today for packing those, and then obviously I'll get those dropped off tomorrow. It looks like we did have an order come in overnight for some book sleeves and some other reading accessories, so we'll probably work on sewing those tomorrow. I'm guessing we probably won't have time to start on them today just because there is a lot that goes into the boxes, so that's probably going to be tomorrow's project, and we're going to work on restocking any extra fall and Halloween stuff too. Luna here, she just pulled her blanket out of her bed. Hang on, you gotta see this goofy girl. Made herself into a little sausage wrap here. She is full of energy. I'm gonna have to play ball up and down the hallway. I've got a hallway right next to the office entry here, so if you ever see me throwing toys, it's because Luna is full of energy. We gotta wear that off. But yes, as soon as my husband gets home, we are gonna surprise him with those flowers. Right now, we are gonna work on getting things ready for the boxes, and then we'll pack those. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say hi to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
You gotta show your face.
Hi, YouTube.
All right, now that we've surprised him with the flowers, we are gonna get started on the bookmarks. So we are gonna cut those, and then we're gonna round the corners for those. And then we'll probably move on. Well, I've got the cutting the cutting board out. That's not even what it's called. The paper cutter? The paper cutter. While we've got that out, we're also gonna cut the stickers that go on the inside of the boxes. You'll see what I mean here. We just need to trim up the edges on those a little bit. So we're gonna do that real quick while we got the paper cutter out too. So now that bookmarks and stickers are done, we are also going to add little Charming Chapter logo stickers to the back of the stationery item. So we've got sticky notes and notepads. And then we also have wax melts that Stephanie from the Book Nerd Fox made for the boxes. If you've ordered one of our boxes before, you're probably familiar with her work. So we're going to put those along with business cards into little organza bags. And then we also are going to put the stickers onto the backing cards. So let's get all of that done. think it's time to start packing boxes. It looks like we have everything ready to go, but first I want to show you what is all included in the boxes. Okay, so this is what the box is going to look like. We're going to have some cute, fun pink and purple crinkle paper, and then we've got the cute little sticker to go on the box too, and then we're going to have these cute little stickers that go on the paper that's going to seal them, which our tissue paper is this fun little ghosty paper. So we're gonna do that. Don't mind my X's on here. I printed these on Avery labels because I don't have a Cricut yet. There is one on the way. I did order one like I mentioned last week. I think it was last week's studio vlog. Anyways, some of these didn't quite print very well. So don't mind the X's. Those are ones I'm not gonna use. But we've got the boxes, crinkle paper, stickers, and then we've got these fun little cards that tell you what is all included in the box. And then it also doubles as an art print too. It's the same design that's on the book sleeve. And speaking of the book sleeve, here are those. I think they turned out so cute. This is one of my favorite designs. I love how colorful it is, but it's still cute and spooky and all those fun things. And then we've got two bookmarks that match the designs. We've got the bookshelf. This, I think I've got, I don't even know how many variations of the bookshelf design we have now. But I thought it would be fun to do a haunted library one. And then this is just kind of another view of the haunted library, I guess you'd say. Almost like a little reading nook area. So we've got that. And then we have our sun catchers. And then our stickers. So we've got the holographic one. And then this one here glows in the dark. Got our crinkle paper ready to go. And then we've got our little wax melts with a business card from Stephanie. And then we've got bookmarks and a discount code that are going to be going in from Turning Pages book box. So you can get a discount on your first box with her. And then we've got our notepads and sticky notes. And of course, with Halloween, everybody needs a little sweet treat. So that is what's all included in the boxes. We are going to work on packing those up next. I was trying to figure out the best way to pack the boxes. This is my first box that we'll have packed in the new studio here. So I think I'm going to pack up the boxes, and then there are a couple orders that have a few things that weren't included in the boxes, like other reading accessories like book sleeves, stickers, different things like that. So I think we're just going to pack the boxes. Oh, Mama Kitty's outside. Here, hang on. This is Mama Kitty. She's the sweetest little thing. She won't actually let us pet her, but she does like hanging around the house here. She just had two kittens not too long ago, and they're the cutest little things. They're so fuzzy. There's a gray and white one, and then a black one, and they are just stinking adorable. Sorry, got distracted by cute farm animals. Imagine that. But anyways, I think we're gonna pack up the boxes. That way they're all ready to go, and then I'll film like writing out the thank you cards that go with each one. That way you guys can see your boxes still. But then the orders that have additional items, then we'll pack those separate too, just because I don't have a whole lot of space in here. So I think we'll put the boxes together, and then we'll go back, add the thank you cards, and then add the additional items for those orders too. to be it for today. Tomorrow, all of these orders are going to go off to the post office when we go into town tomorrow evening. Tomorrow during the day, we are going to be working on some book sleeves. We're going to get those sewn up, pack them orders, and then we might decorate the studio for fall and Halloween. We'll see. There's a few other things on the to-do list too, but I would really like to get the studio decorated this week. So we'll catch you again tomorrow. Good morning, friends. Happy Thursday. Sorry, I got a little glare from the computer here. I was just looking to see what we had for orders today. Looks like we've got 3 book sleeves we need to sew. There's actually 4 within the orders, but one I already have made up. So we've got 3 book sleeves to sew today. Sorry if I sound a little stuffy today. The weather is changing, which affects my allergies, but I'm okay with it because it is my time of year. It's nice and cool. It's gloomy. I was telling my husband that it is sweater weather season, finally, now that it's cooling off again. I absolutely love wearing sweaters all day. And he just rolls his eyes at me. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. This really pale girl with light blue eyes does not do well in the summertime. I don't do well in the sun. I have terrible allergies and I am a magnet for bugs. I'm always covered in bug bites in the summer. And I said, fall and winter are my seasons. I can wear my cozy long sleeve sweaters, my fuzzy socks, curl up with blankets. So this is my season. My allergies are not as bad during the fall and the winter. So I am ready for it. So it's going to be a cozy day in the studio. We're just going to work on sewing those book sleeves. First, we are going to add some extra fall and Halloween book sleeves that we have. We're going to add those to the website and to Etsy. And then a little bit later, I think at noon, I have an Etsy live. If you sell on Etsy, you probably already know, but Etsy is hosting this live event today, which goes live at noon. So I'm going to watch that. They're going to just cover some Etsy updates and share some news about like upcoming themes for fall and winter. So this should be interesting to watch. Usually I don't learn a whole lot, but I always like to tune in just in case there's some big announcement that I know I don't want to miss that. So we're going to watch that while sewing today, and we're going to start off with putting all of those book sleeves on Etsy and the website. That way I can sew while we watch that live. So that is the word of the day, isn't it? But yeah, we're going to get those sleeves added to the website here, and then we're going to prep those few book sleeves that we need to get sewn up, and then we'll get those orders packed. That way I can take everything into town with us tonight. We are picking some friends up from the airport, and then we figured while we're already in town, since we live out in the country, just in case you haven't watched a studio vlog before, it's about a half an hour drive to go into town for us. So while we're in town, we're going to go out for supper tonight since tomorrow is our 10-year wedding anniversary. So we're going to have a little date night while we're in town, which should be fun. But yeah, we're going to get our sleeves added to the sites here, and then we'll move on to those orders. Sorry, just turned the lamp on here so I can see all the different prints. I forgot to mention, in case you haven't watched one of the studio vlogs before when we've done some inventory stuff, I use a program that syncs the inventory between Etsy and my website, which is hosted by Shopify. And the program that I use is called Trunk. This isn't sponsored by them or anything. I'd just like to share just in case there's any other small business owners that are looking for a program too. But it's called Trunk, and it syncs the inventory between Etsy and the website. So if an item sells on one, it'll go to the middle program, update it, which will then forward it on to the other. So it's just nice to keep track of inventory. That way I don't have to manually go in and change something every time an item sells, especially during the busy holiday season. So you're going to see me jumping between Etsy and Trunk. I like to look things up on Etsy just because it's a little bit easier to view everything compared to Shopify. So I'll look up the item to find the SKU number on Etsy, and then I'll update the inventory on Trunk. So you're going to see me hopping between screens here, and we'll get everything updated. Also, I just realized that you're going to see me changing a few behind the scenes things on Etsy too. I need to remove the wording that says pre-orders on all of the book sleeves that we're going to add. On Etsy, I can't show things that are sold out like I can on the website. So I have to deactivate everything, and I haven't had the chance to go in and update the wording yet. So we're going to remove all the pre-order information. That way it just shows everything's in stock. So we're going to do that as well as add things to inventory. On the website, I've already updated it just because I like to show that things are sold out, just in case anybody's still interested in a print. They can message me asking for more details. So we don't have to do it on the website, just on Etsy. Okay, that project's all done. Everything's been added to Etsy and the website, except for extra items that were in the Haunted Library box. I want to make sure everybody receives their boxes first before I add any extra items to the website. So we'll add those at a later date. But for now, I'm going to work on those book sleeves. I won't film all that for you guys just because it's what we did earlier this week, and I don't want you guys to get bored watching the same thing over and over. So next time that I see you, we'll be packing those orders. I just came out here to check on Luna. Look at this goofball. She's under her heated blanket, all cozied in. Looks like a great way to spend the day. All right, just finished sewing up the 3 sleeves that we needed to get done. Also just finished watching the Etsy live in about, not quite 15 minutes here. There is like a follow-up viewing that they're gonna go over some different trends for the fall and winter. So I'm gonna watch that here in just a bit. But for now, we are gonna get those orders packed up. We got orders packed. It's actually a little bit later than when I was filming before. I did watch the Etsy trend report here, and it was kind of interesting. Literary girl is trending. Imagine that, bookish stuff. They're saying that there's like 20,000 searches a week for bookish stuff. So we are trending, which is great. Also, they were talking about different colors for the year. Red and then a deep green, like jade color is really trending, which I had heard that earlier this summer. And I'd been thinking about what kind of colors to do for our bookish advent calendar for this year. Last year we did a bookish advent calendar and you guys absolutely loved it. It was a 12-day calendar. I think we're gonna keep it around the 12 days just because it helps keep the price low for everybody. You know, around the holiday season, things get really expensive. They also make great gifts, so then it's not a super expensive gift if you want to give it to somebody too. But I've been thinking about what colors I want to do and the theme. Coming up here, maybe next week, I'm going to post on Instagram a poll just to find out what kind of themes you guys are wanting to do for our Advent box. But for the colors, I had actually been thinking, since we do pink as our main color, obviously, we're going to do pink, white, and gold, and then we'll do an accent color. So I was thinking maybe red would be really fun, but also that dark green. And then even like a soft blue, which is what we had done last year. So it just kind of depends on the theme of what you guys are wanting. Let me grab my list here. I wrote down a few ideas for different themes. Sure, now that I mentioned it, I can't find the list. I wrote down some theme ideas and I cannot find it. I thought I put it in my drawer here. Anyways, I wrote down some ideas for the colors at least. So I was thinking maybe with the pink, white, and gold, brown, just do like a kind of baked kind of theme, you know, like your gingerbread, you know, your cozy winter treats kind of thing. Also with the white and the red, kind of tie in like peppermints, just that kind of vibe, just kind of your sweet treats, or even snowmen would be really cute. And then with the green, maybe like woodland animals. I know I had some other ideas. I'll have to try and find my list. But anyways, it was kind of interesting to hear that those colors are still trending. So we're on trend for ideas as well. And then right after I got done with the Etsy live, my mom called and she's like, have you heard much about crickets? And I'm like, well, funny you should ask, because I have a silhouette cameo that's supposed to be delivered tomorrow. So then we were kind of visiting about that. I think it was not last week, but the week before, I had mentioned in the studio vlog that I was doing some research on crickets versus silhouettes, and I did end up ordering a pink silhouette cameo. Imagine that, pink. I did splurge on it a little bit. It was a little bit extra because of the color, but I figured we had to have it being the studio is pink. So that should be here tomorrow. So then next week, where I think we're gonna have a little extra time. We don't have any big projects on the radar for next week. So I think we're probably gonna test out some new products. I'd like to test out little backing cards to put in the Kindle cases, if you do the clear Kindle cases. Some of the designs that we have, like the reading nooks where they've got the different windows and scenes, I think those would be really cool for the Kindle cases. We're also going to test out regular stickers as well as sticker sheets, regular bookmarks, and magnetic bookmarks. So there's all kinds of things I want to try and just experiment with a little bit. And I think it's going to be really fun because it'll allow me to bring you guys more things without having so much inventory on hand. If you run a small business, you know how expensive things are. So when you have products sitting, it's not a great feeling to know your money's tied up into things. So having the cameo is really going to allow me to bring you guys more things without having to have a bunch of inventory on hand. Plus, I'll be able to personalize things for you, which I think will be really exciting in itself because I can do personalized bookmarks. Like if you want to have your Instagram or TikTok handle for your reading pages, or if you want to give it as a gift for somebody. So I think that's going to be really fun too, just to have the option to personalize things, because right now everything gets ordered in, and with my manufacturers, most of them have at least a 25 minimum for a lot of the products. So unfortunately I can't personalize things right now. So I'm really excited for the cameo. I'm not quite sure where we're going to put it yet, not going to lie. I had done some measuring for under the desk, like where my laptop sits, and from the measurements of it, it's a little wide. So I don't know if we're going to have room for a stand to go underneath the desk. If not, depending, how many orders we get, I might either set that where the sewing machine is and leave that out full time if we're doing that many orders with, the cameo, or it'll just be bring the cameo out when we need to make orders. So we'll figure that all out once we get going with that. But that's kind of some exciting shop news. We'll be experimenting with that hopefully next week. Like I said, we don't have any big projects on the radar for next week. I do want to start stocking up on some of the book sleeves for the holiday season, like our more popular book sleeves, like the library cards, some of the reading nook designs, things like that. Just because book sleeves do take a lot of time, as you guys can see, with the prepping of the fabric, cutting it, steaming it, clipping everything together. Plus then there's the sewing time. So there's a lot of time that goes into book sleeves. So I do want to try and get ahead on those for the holidays a little bit, because crazy as it sounds, it's not going to be October next week already. That is just crazy to think about. I feel like I've been saying all summer, oh yeah, I got lots of time to stock up for the holidays. Well, the holidays aren't too far away, so we're gonna get to work on that here soon. Plus, I also want to start on some new designs for the cats and dog collection. I was wanting to do that early October, but timing just didn't work out. You guys have kept me really busy with all of your orders from the fall and Halloween collection, which I can't thank you guys all enough for that. So it'll probably be towards the end of October that we'll do the cats and dogs, but it'll be nice because we'll have the cameo for that. So we'll be able to make all kinds of new products that we haven't had before. But anyways, it's about 2:15 right now. I am going to leave a little early today just because I want to get your orders from today, as well as those haunted library boxes that we packed yesterday. I want to get those over to the post office before they close today, because just a couple of the boxes would fill up their drop box, their overnight drop box. So I want to get those sent out today. But we've got a little bit of time left, so I think we're going to work on a few Kindle charms and some acrylic bookmarks that came in. they've just been sitting on the shelf for a couple weeks now. So I think we're gonna work on those for a little bit, get those added to the website, and then we'll see how much time we have left if we have any extra time for more projects. Friends, that's gonna be it for today. I am off to let Luna run around for a little bit so she can wear some energy before we head into town to take those orders in, and then go out for supper for our anniversary too. As you can hear, she is ready to go outside. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit later start. I'm going to finish editing last week's studio vlog in the morning, so we'll catch you guys in the afternoon. And we're going to finish up those bookmarks, and then we might decorate the studio for fall and Halloween. So we'll see. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Happy Friday, friends! It is a little after 1 o'clock right now. I spent most of the morning editing last week's studio vlog. It did take a little bit longer than normal just because you guys kept me so busy with all of your orders last week. We had a lot going on, especially with all your order packing. So that is officially live and ready for you guys to watch. And I can't thank you guys all enough for your love and support with the fall and Halloween collection with all of your orders. And even if you didn't place an order, just for helping share everything, on social media, on YouTube. I can't thank you all enough. And my husband too. He's not here at the moment, but he wanted to say thank you to you guys as well. It just means so much that you guys want to support our small business and support our lifestyle. And we love and appreciate you guys. And thank you guys for tuning in every week. We love having you here. For me, it gives me somebody to talk to. It does get a little lonely living out here on the farm in the middle of nowhere with nobody else around. So having you guys watch my vlogs each week just gives me somebody to talk to. And it feels like you guys are here hanging out with me too. So I hope you guys enjoy everything that I share with you every week. And if there's anything you guys want to see, let me know. I'm going to try and plan ahead a little bit with some videos for the holiday season, just because with orders, it really picks up, and I probably won't be able to film as much as I have been. Especially with the order packing. As much as I would love to record all of your videos, just with the holidays, my priority is getting your orders out to you guys as fast as possible. I know you guys want to give things to people as gifts and stuff, so unfortunately I won't be able to record as much as I would love to during the holiday season. So if you guys have any ideas or things you want to see for videos that I can post during the holiday season that I can record a little bit ahead of time, I'd love to do that for you. I do have exciting news. Our silhouette cameo just arrived. I haven't even opened up the box yet. It literally just came a little bit ago. So maybe once I get the hang of that, we can do some tutorials with stickers, bookmarks, that kind of thing. Once I get the hang of it though, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. We're probably going to work on that next week, just kind of learning the ins and outs, doing some trials with that. I'll have to get familiar with printing things with my printer as well, just because it's going to be a whole new experience. Right now, everything is ordered in. Before we moved out to the farm here, I didn't have the space to be able to print a lot of my own stuff. And now that I actually have a room dedicated to Charming Chapters, we can work on all that kind of stuff. So next week's going to be a fun and exciting week. But today we're going to finish up those bookmarks that we were working on yesterday. We need to get them in their cute packaging, and then we'll get those added to inventory. And then we are finally going to decorate the studio for fall and Halloween. I don't have a ton of decorations, but there is some cute fun stuff that we're going to put out. We're going to do a little bit of dusting and cleaning, all that tidying stuff while we're already organizing. So that'll be today's project. I'm not going to work too late today because it is our 10-year wedding anniversary. We don't have big plans for the evening. We actually went out for dinner last night. I think I mentioned that yesterday. We went out to Longhorn and had some steaks. They have the best steaks in town. We got the big old steak, so I saved some for lunch today. So I just finished having my leftover steak, and it was just as good as last night. So tonight we're just going to hang out. We're going to make some some stir fry with our veggies from the garden. If you guys have been tuning in, you'll know that we planted a garden for the first time this year because we officially have the space now. And it has been my new favorite hobby. I'm so sad that it's getting to the end of the season, you know, just with it getting colder. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do this winter. I'll have more time for reading, maybe. But it is nice to have those fresh vegetables. We are going to have zucchini and squash, carrots, and green beans from our garden. And then we did get some peas from the local farmer's market. So we're gonna have that in our stir fry tonight as well. So we're gonna do that, have a little dessert, just hang out with Luna. Can you hear her barking? I'm guessing that's the rest of the supplies for the cameo. So I better grab that. Hang on one second. I was right. It was the rest of the stuff I ordered. Although I'm really confused because there's 2 giant boxes. Like I can barely get my arms around them. 2 boxes like that sitting in the living room. I was assuming the first one that came was the cameo just because I haven't opened it yet. But we'll check that out here once we get our bookmarks finished, and then we have some space in the studio and we'll see what's happening in those boxes. But yeah, let's finish up those bookmarks, get those done, and then we'll move on to the really fun part of decorating the studio. It's officially time to decorate the studio. So we are going to Swiffer, we are going to sweep, and we're going to vacuum before we put out all the fun things.
The leaves are falling down, oh can't you see? Golden shades of red, it's like a dream to me. Swear the weather's here, the air is crisp and cool. Walking through the park, feeling autumn's rule. Pumpkin spice in the air, cozy nights to share. Cider in my cup, I'm breathing in the flare. Oh, autumn days, your painted skies of gold. With every breeze, a story's being told. Colors in the wind, dance around the trees. Autumn's here to set.
Now that the cleaning's done, we can officially start putting out decorations. In case you didn't notice, I put on Halloween Town in the background. If you guys are a Disney fan, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. I absolutely love Halloween Town. That is one of those videos that I watched every year when it would come on TV. And it's nice that we have Disney Plus now because I can watch it anytime I want. So we got that playing on in the background just for some spooky vibes. But I wanted to show you a couple of the decorations that I have. Probably won't be putting all of this stuff out, but some of them just have kind of special memories. So I want to share them with you. So these 3 here probably won't be hanging out in the office with us because they light up and they have to use a plug-in, and we are short on outlets in the studio here. We have a whopping 2 of them, and one of them is in the closet. So these here my grandma made. She has since passed away, but she used to make ceramics. These little ones here are hers too. And growing up, we would have so much fun painting with her, and that just helped spark my creativity as a kid. And they just have fun memories behind them. So sadly, they won't be in the office here, but that's okay. They'll be around the house. Little Ghosty here, you've probably seen him in the background. I picked him up at, was it Home Goods or TJ Maxx? I think it was Home Goods a couple weeks ago, and he's been sitting on the shelf, so we'll put him back out. We've got a whole bunch of leaves in here that we might put out. And we've got some lights. These are actually, if you've watched the studio vlog since the beginning, these I picked up for our Enchanted Garden collection, and I thought I purchased white lights, and I did not. So being that purple and orange, we'll probably put them in here somewhere. These were made by one of our reps from a long time ago when we first started, and she had done like a cute little book box for a bookshop that she works at, and these cute little pumpkins were in there. And my aunt made this one. She's so crafty. I don't know that these will be in the office here. We'll see if we have room for them. Then we've got pink and orange pumpkins. You know the pink pumpkins are going to hang out in here. And my little spell books. We'll try and get those in. More leaves and our little witchy. So we'll see how much room we have for all this stuff. All right, here we are. I also had an extra card from the Haunted Library boxes, so I thought I'd put that up just as a little bit of artwork. And then, of course, I've had this on my desktop lately. Love that new design. And then our shelves over here. I only decorated the one shelf just because I do so much with everything on this shelf. Didn't want to have to move stuff all the time. And then this is our current thank you card, so I put one of those in the frame. Yeah. It's not a whole lot for decorations, but it'll be fun to have a few things over the next few weeks during spooky season. Before we moved here, we were just in a little 2-bedroom apartment, so every day I would set up my little folding table in our bedroom, and I had my bookshelf in there, so I had a couple decorations on the bookshelf, and then everything else like inventory and sewing supplies and all that was in our spare bedroom, so it didn't really have a space to decorate other than the house, so it'll be fun just to have all the decorations out in the official Charming Chapters space. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean up decorations for now. The rest of these I'll probably put around the house here, we'll see. But I'm gonna clean up real quick and then we'll get to opening the fun new packages. So I was just moving some of these decorations out to the living room so I can put them out later. And I realized I was missing one really important decoration. Our skeleton, Weenie. We got him last year, I found him at Target. And we did a joke for our friends and family on Facebook, and we put a little video saying that we are really excited to introduce our new family member because everybody knows I've been wanting another fur baby and my husband has not let us get one yet. So we did a little prank saying we are getting a new fur baby and we couldn't wait to introduce him. And my husband was obsessed with him and decided to name him Skinny. So this is Skinny. He probably won't go in the office here just because he takes up a lot of room. He's about the size of Luna, and last year she was teeny tiny, so it's kind of fun to see her next to it. She really wants to play with him right now. But I had to show you Skinny because everybody knows we love our doxies in this house, so here he is. So you can see about his size. Luna is about, well, she's a little bigger than he is. Do you remember him from last year? No, you can't eat him. No, don't eat his tail. So I just unboxed everything and let me show you. It is pink, it is a cameo, but it's the cameo 5 and I ordered the cameo 4. So I'm gonna have to reach out to the manufacturer because I specifically wanted the cameo 4 because the cameo 5 just came out and on all the reviews they're saying that the rollers that move the cutting mat back and forth break really easily, so I really didn't want the cameo 5 even though it's pink. I'm gonna reach out and see what they can do. Hopefully they can send me the cameo 4. If not, we'll see. We'll wing it. But let me show you all the other things I got. Speaking of pink, we got Spicy Sausage over here in her little pink bed. She's kind of a handful right now. But for the other new things, I got this pink cover to go over the cameo. Again, if it's a cameo 5, I'll have to see if this will fit. So to be determined. And then I also got a roller to help the items stick to the mat. And this is holographic paper. And then we got squeegees to help with the stickers as well. And then we got sticker paper and then also photo paper. So these, I was just going off for reviews and other small businesses that I've seen. So I'll let you know how it goes with those. So that is all the fun stuff that just came in. I'll let you know in next week's studio vlog what happens with Cameo 5 back there. 4 has been discontinued, so I don't know if I can still get that one. Like I said, I'm gonna reach out to manufacturer, see what they say, see what happens. I would really like to have the pink one, obviously for the studio, but if I can only get in the white, then we'll go from there. So like I said, I'll let you know next week what happens. But that's gonna be the end of this week's vlog. Luna is getting extra spicy down here. She needs to go run around in the garden and wear off some energy. So if you like this video this week, I hope you stick around and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we are possibly gonna be testing out some new items. You'll have to tune in next week to find out. So, but if you liked everything this week, I hope you subscribe to the channel. And if you like this particular video, I hope you give it a thumbs up. That just helps to share it with other people who might be interested in watching things from our channel too. And as always, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for all of your orders from the fall and Halloween collection and your regular orders too. My husband and I greatly appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys again next week. Bye for now. Before we go, I forgot to mention that I figured out what was in the other giant box. It was boxes. I had to order more shipping boxes for you guys. So I totally forgot I ordered those, but that's what was in the second large box. Luna is currently climbing on top of the boxes, so I need to go put them away. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this week's vlog. In celebration of our 10-year anniversary today, I'm gonna share some photos with you guys from our wedding day, and I hope you guys enjoy everything. So we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.